Let me tell you about a very specific kind of prison. It has no iron bars, no stone walls, and no guards. In fact, the world looks at this prison and calls it a virtue. They look at the prisoner and say, "You're such a good person. You're so kind. You're so easy to get along with." But inside that good person is a soul that is slowly suffocating, a person who has spent their entire life perfecting the art of disappearing. Have you ever felt that? That heavy, exhausted feeling of saying yes when your heart is screaming no? Most people think being a people pleaser is just a personality trait. They think it's about being nice, but it's not. It's a survival mechanism. It started when you were a child. Maybe you realized early on that your parents' love felt like a reward for your performance. When you were quiet, you were good. When you helped out, you were special. When you hid your anger, your sadness, or your messy edges, you were easy to love. So you learned to bury the real you to keep the peace. You became a chameleon, changing your colors to match everyone else's expectations. You traded your authenticity for safety. And now, years later, you've become a stranger to yourself. You are a person made of pieces of everyone else. You have the hobbies your partner likes. You have the opinions your boss approves of. You have the nice personality your friends expect. But who are you when the room is empty? If you took away the good person mask, would there be anything left? The tragedy of the people pleaser is that they are loved by everyone, but known by no one. They are surrounded by people, but they are profoundly lonely, because the person everyone loves is just a performance. It is a curse, the curse of the good child. You've become so good at reading others that you've forgotten how to read yourself. You've spent so much time building bridges for others that you've walked right into your own abyss. Psychologists call this the loss of the original self. It's the moment you realized that being yourself was too dangerous, so you decided to be what they wanted instead. In the next few minutes, we are going to look into the mirror that you've been avoiding. We are going to explore why niceness is often a mask for deep-seated fear, and how you can start reclaiming the person you buried all those years ago. Why are we so terrified of being disappointing? Why does the thought of saying no feel like a death sentence? If you've ever felt like a puppet whose strings are being pulled by 1,000 different hands, this is for you. Stay tuned, because the first step to freedom is realizing that you are actually a prisoner. Welcome to the autopsy of a good person. Are you ready to see what's underneath the mask? Think of your life as a series of invisible strings. One string is tied to your mother's approval, another to your friend's opinion, another to your partner's comfort. Every time someone asks for something, they pull a string and you move. You smile, you agree, you apologize for things that weren't even your fault. You have become a human marionette. And the most painful part? You are the one who handed them the strings. You did it because you were taught that selfishness is the ultimate sin. You were told that putting yourself first makes you a bad person. But there's a massive difference between being a good person and being a compliant person. A good person has boundaries. A compliant person has a cage. When you live to please others, you aren't actually being kind. You are being dishonest. Every time you say, "It's fine," when it's not, you are lying. Every time you hide your true feelings to avoid a conflict, you are depriving the other person of the chance to know the real you. You are building relationships on a foundation of fake peace. And this dishonesty has a cost. It manifests as a dull, constant ache in your chest. It shows up as unexplained burnout. It turns into a quiet, simmering resentment that you can't quite explain. You start to hate the people you are helping, not because they are bad, but because you hate the person you become when you are around them. You feel used. You feel taken for granted. But the truth is, people will only treat you the way you've trained them to. If you've taught them that your time, your energy, and your feelings have no price tag, they will spend you until you are bankrupt. This is the good person trap. You keep giving because you think it will finally make you enough.
You think that if you just do one more favor, if you're just a little bit more patient, they will finally see you. They will finally say, "I see how much you do. You can rest now." But that day never comes, because people don't respect the person with no boundaries, they simply use them. They don't see your sacrifice, they see your availability. The real tragedy is that while you were busy keeping everyone else's world from falling apart, your own world became a graveyard of forgotten dreams. The artist you wanted to be, the traveler you dreamed of becoming, the loud, messy, passionate version of you, they all died to make room for the good person. It's time to realize that your niceness is not a gift to the world, it is a bribe. You are trying to buy safety with your soul. You are trying to guarantee that no one will ever leave you, judge you, or be mad at you. But a life without conflict is a life without growth. Real love doesn't require you to disappear. Real connection doesn't ask you to be a puppet. The strings are only there because you believe that without them you would fall. But what if you could stand on your own? What if being disliked was actually the key to being free? It's time to stop performing and start existing.
So how do you stop? How do you cut the strings when they are so deeply embedded in your skin? It starts with a terrifying realization. Some people will leave when you stop being easy, and that is okay. In fact, it is necessary. When you start saying no, the people who were only there to use you will vanish. Let them. They weren't your friends, they were your owners. The people who truly love you will stay, but they will have to learn a new way of relating to you. You have to learn to sit with the discomfort of someone being disappointed in you. It will feel like you're dying at first. Your heart will race, your hands will shake, and your brain will tell you that you've done something terrible. But you haven't. You've just set a boundary. A boundary is not a wall to keep people out. It's a gate to keep your soul in. It's a way of saying, this is where I begin and you end. It's the ultimate act of self-respect. Reclaim your badness. Be the person who is difficult sometimes. Be the person who says, I can't do that, or I don't agree. Be the person who takes up space, who makes noise, and who doesn't apologize for existing. You were not put on this earth to be a supporting character in everyone else's movie. You are the main character of your own story, and a main character who only lives to please the audience is a boring one. As we close this session, I want you to do something small today. Say no to one thing that you don't want to do. Don't explain, don't justify, just no. Feel the power of that word. If this video felt like it was reading your diary, if you've spent your life as a puppet, let me know in the comments. Tell me, what is the one thing you're tired of saying yes to? Let's start cutting those strings together. Your voice, your anger, and even your selfishness are all parts of you that deserve to live. Hit that like button to help this message reach the other good children who are tired of performing. Subscribe to join our tribe of rebels who are learning to be real instead of nice. Share this with that one person who always says sorry for everything. Let them know they have nothing to apologize for. Thank you for giving me your time and your attention. It is the greatest honor to speak to the person behind the mask. Until next time, put the strings down. Let the puppets fall. Go out and be the disappointing, messy, and beautifully authentic person you were always meant to be. Trust yourself. The world can handle your no. Remember, the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter won't mind. Stop being a good person and start being a whole person. Your life is waiting for you to show up. Peace be with you. Are you ready to go unlimited? The cage is open. All you have to do is walk out. Goodbye for now, and stay real.